Welcome back to Colorado's Best. You see certified financial planner Denisa Tova on Colorado's Best every Friday. She answers all of your financial questions on our show and our website, and you all keep her very, very busy. Well, she is making a special appearance today to give you some advice on something she is really passionate about. Denisa?
Thanks, Paula. You know, the one thing I often get questions about is dealing with the financial fallout of a divorce. And I focus on helping people through that aspect, but there is a lot more to divorce. So I wanted to bring in an expert and take a look at the bigger picture. Leslie Matthews has been an attorney since 1986 and is now the managing partner at the Matthews & Matthews, a premier family law firm serving the Denver Metro. But in the last few years, Leslie has chosen to step away from the courtroom and concentrate her efforts on improving the divorce process and helping people make wise choices. But even before the divorce papers are filed, which is interesting. So if you are contemplating divorce, she can help you answer the question, is divorce the right choice for me? And if so, how do I get the best result possible? Leslie, hello.
Hi, nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. Leslie, you have just an amazing, interesting, and diverse background. I mean, you've been a nurse, a life coach, a very successful attorney, and now you're bringing all of this together and taking sort of a holistic approach to divorce. So you think that coaching people before the process actually begins can impact the way divorce is done here in Colorado. Why is that?
Well, divorce in Colorado is actually quite a fragmented process. So you have the attorneys, and the attorneys are looking at the legal issues and just the legal issues. Then most people, or many people, have a therapist or a clergy member or perhaps a family member, and they're getting their emotional support there. And then there are another whole group of people, experts like yourself, Denisa, right? Divorce financial experts, tax experts, business valuation experts, and parent evaluators even. And they all see the divorce through their own lens, through their own focus. But nobody looks holistically at the whole thing. And so people don't get the coaching and the help that they really need to make wise choices. Because truthfully, the choices that you make at the very beginning of your divorce set the stage for not only how the divorce goes, but set the stage for how it's going to go long afterwards, especially if you have children together.
Leslie, you have seen hundreds and hundreds of people go through that process of divorce. You say that experience has motivated you.
It really has. I've been doing this for many years, and I see the pain and the suffering that people go through. And it is one of the most difficult life transitions that people have, is going through a divorce. It was for me. I had a divorce back when I was in my 20s, which was a long time ago. But it was one of the most difficult periods of my life. And I made some really unwise choices at that time because I didn't have that coaching at the very beginning of my divorce process. So I did things like, my husband cut off all the credit cards and cleaned out the bank accounts. And that's typical, that happens quite frequently. And as a woman, I was left with, oh my goodness, just fear, right? Fear.
Absolutely.
And so at that moment in my life, I took an action. I had a response to that fear, and I took all my belongings and my 2.5-year-old daughter, and I left, all right? And I left without telling him I was leaving. And as you can imagine, that got him very upset and very angry. So this is what I would call an escalating divorce. And most people, when they're in a divorce, make choices out of this fear or anger or resentment and start to escalate the process. So one person does something, then the other person does something, and then everybody starts getting angry, and the divorce starts to get very expensive. It starts to build a resentment that you can't go back from. In other words, once the train has left the station, it's very hard to slow it down and turn it around and make it into what I would call a conscious choice to divorce.
So what can people expect you when they come to see you for a coaching session?
So what I've designed is a process by which people can, when they're contemplating divorce, before they've made any of those choices out of anger and fear, they can come to me, and I will take all my expertise as a family law attorney, and I've been through hundreds and hundreds of divorce cases. I'll bring my holistic experience as an RN, because I was an RN before I was an attorney, and look at the entire picture. And I'll also bring my divorce coaching experience to the table for people. And they will work with me to come to a decision, and it could be one of three. Three decisions. Either you decide not to divorce, which is really okay with me. That would be the best thing for most cases. Or you decide to postpone the divorce with conditions. Or thirdly, you decide to move forward with the divorce. And if you do decide to move forward with the divorce, then I work with them on pre-planning, on how to start the process in a way that doesn't turn it into an escalating divorce. And hopefully people can consciously move through that process and then be able to co-parent, because without that, you have the situation like, unfortunately, I did for many years, which is very difficult co-parenting. And you know, who it really hurts is the children, right? So with my daughter, she's 27 and she's doing great and she's fabulous, but she does have issues. She has issues about commitment and issues about what it is to be married. And if I could have maybe done the right thing early in that divorce process, the whole thing would have changed.
So it sounds like people walk away with information, education, also a sense of clarity. But what else do people walk away with after meeting with you?
Well, in my opinion, it's an incredibly good investment for people. The cost of divorce, especially when it's an escalating divorce, is exponential. So people could spend, let's say, $3,000 on their divorce, or people can spend $20,000 on their divorce. If you get coaching early on and make the right choices about not only if you move forward, but what type of resolution process you use, what's right for you, what's right for your family, and move through the divorce in a conscious way, they can save an enormous amount of money, but more importantly, an enormous amount of heartache for many years to come.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Leslie. I mean, you have so much to offer. And to schedule a coaching session with Leslie, you can call her at the law firm today or visit her website. You can make an appointment right there online, and it's 303-329-3802 or online at leslie-matthews.com. Now, if you need a family or divorce attorney or want more information, you can also call her law firm, Matthews & Matthews, at 303-329-3802 or visit their website at matthewslaw.com. There are many great resources there. You'll find articles on divorce, and Leslie also writes a blog, so check it out.